Welcome to the month of June, 30 days all about gin, shining a spotlight on craft-made Canadian. Fun facts and proper tastings, live cocktails Friday afternoons. Discover 14 different brands and be influenced by me. Some for roll. That's right, I'm a song for roll.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the 15th day of June, my 30-day salute to gin during the month of June. Now, June is an annual event, with the 2021 event marking the 3rd anniversary, and as most of you watching know, this year I am focusing on and shining a spotlight on Made in Canada gin. There is indeed a thriving and growing craft gin scene here right up in the Great White North, and these days buying, drinking, and supporting local is more important than ever. Our Canadian craft distillers need our help, as do our wineries, as do our breweries, as do all small Canadian businesses, including Some for All. So that's why this year with June, I want to share and showcase what we've got going on up here. From coast to coast, there truly are some innovative, creative, and very tasty gins being made, and I want to encourage you to discover as many of them as you can. Now, I just mentioned that the gin scene in Canada is not only thriving, but also growing, and that leads us to today's gin. This is What's Stuck Gin, one of the newer Ontario-produced gins in our market. Now, launched back in February of 2021, What's Stuck Gin has been purposely created for cost-conscious tasters who are open-minded about authenticity and rule bending when it comes to their juniper-based spirit. You know, there's not a lot of information available on What's Stuck. You know, that's likely done by design to kind of create an element of mystery and intrigue. What we do know is that this is a value-priced gin made in Guelph, Ontario, and that it's a gin that goes against the grain in terms of flash and dash. Again, all by design, right? The label, as you can see, is very basic and to the point. There's nothing pretentious about its image here, and the folks behind What's Stuck don't apologize for this. Nor do they apologize for creating a value category gin. It's all done with purpose. You see, the goal for What's Stuck Gin is to take the classic London dry gin style, right? We've talked about that style before. So they want to take that classic, more traditional London dry gin style, and then they want to craft it and, do it in their own way, right? Add their own touch to it. So that all, levels of gin fans, no matter who you are, all gin fans could experience and enjoy What's Stuck. Now, word to the wise from Some for All, folks. Footnote here, price does not always discern quality level, right? Whether that's for gin or for any other spirits, wines, or adult beverages out there, beer included. Personally, I've tasted expensive products that were indeed truly outstanding, but I've also tasted high-priced products that, at least to me, seemed unbalanced at times and or just, fell flat. Same with lower-end priced adult beverages, right? Goes both ways. Tasted some low-end stuff that is just phenomenal and tasted some low-end stuff that doesn't exactly pass the grade. So just something to keep in mind when shopping, right? There are some very value for price gems out there. That's actually what What's Stuck is angling to be, right? They want to be one of those gems. Now, did they succeed? Is it a gem? Well, there's only one way to find out. So let's dive in, shall we? Made here in Ontario, clocking in at 40% alcohol by volume. This has been, again, craft distilled with the London dry style in mind. So, from that, we shouldn't expect much, if any, sweetness in the gin, right? It should be fairly dry. All right, so now we're going to calibrate our nose. We're going to raise the glass 3 times. And again, our olfactory senses all ready to inhale the, hopefully, goodness that's in the glass, right? So 1 sniff, hello. 2 sniffs, how do you do? 3 sniffs. Hope you smell delicious. Now our olfactory senses are calibrated and we're ready to pick up what's in the glass. So on the nose, it starts off with what I'm going to call a medium-low intensity, right? Meaning it doesn't jump right out at you. There's a good presence of juniper, right? Think those piney aromas, like there's a good bit of it in here, but not too overpowering. And, there's also a lot of citrus that abound in the glass, right? I get, lemon and lime and pink grapefruit for me come through. Then I dig a little deeper and I pick up some herbal fresh grass, rosemary, thyme tones, right? It's a little bit restrained on the herbal side. This is not deep savory in aroma, but what you do smell adds a little bit of depth. I get a tiny bit of earthy and wood notes as well, and just a hint of something maybe sweet in there. But not cloying and not really sugary at all. Just maybe there's a touch of sweet. Overall, quite nice and bright on the nose. All right, so that's the nose. Now we're gonna go in, we're gonna have a taste. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a sip and we're gonna coat our mouth. We're gonna move it around. We're gonna get our 5 flavor receptors all firing, right? So, sláinte. Alrighty, so light and loose in the mouth. So a little bit of peppery heat up front. Nothing crazy, but a little bit of peppery heat. Then that pine comes through from the juniper. So pine, resin, and I'm getting a lot of citrus, right? A little sweet grapefruit in that citrus, then ripe lime, ripe lemon. All of those three citrus notes all dance around with that little bit of peppery heat. I get some of the herbaceous tones along with a little bit of what I'm going to call a hay, right? So hay or a dried grassy note. That kind of leads me to think that the base distillate uses winter wheat. Doesn't say in the bottle, couldn't find it anywhere, but I'm going to go with I think this is winter wheat. A little bit each also of wood, woody notes, and a little spice. They mix around, and then that citrus comes back again for round 2 and cleans up the palate. Overall, I gotta say, I like it. And I like that the team at Woodstock has achieved what they want to do, right? I like that. They had a goal in mind, they set out, mission accomplished. For me, this is a straightforward, no nonsense, bright and light gin that can be very versatile without really offending anybody. Want to make a gin punch, but you want to let the fruit of the punch shine through? Perfect. Want to make a quick, easy, non-contemplative, thirst-quenching gin and tonic? Perfect. At $29.95 at the LCBO here in Ontario, stock number 19669 for a full 750 milliliter bottle, Woodstock Gin really checks in at a great price point for an easy breezy, everyday, uncomplicated, unpretentious gin. It's great for your home bar, and it has been made for mixing. Although I do believe that it's made for mixing, but I do believe that you could also enjoy this with a little bit of soda water and a fresh lime wedge on a hot day. So not just one-dimensional here. And for those of you that are out shopping, and you're using price more as a focal point, then I get it, right? These are different days these days. So if price really is a focal point for you, and or you are preferring or looking for a more what I'm going to call restrained gin, then here you go, Ontario. Right? There's no need for you to go and grab one of those big brand British bottles. Forget the yellow label British bottle, forget the green, the deep green bottle, the square blue bottle, the bottle with the dude in the red velvet suit and the fancy hat. Forget that. If that's the style and kind of the tastes and aromas that you're looking for, right, in those bigger brand British bottles, then I encourage you, buy local instead. You've got one right here. At $29.95, Whatstuck directly, in my opinion, competes with those brands and, like them, is designed for mixing, right? Those big brand bottles that I'm kind of talking about, you know the ones. They're not really meant to be had on their own. Some of you may enjoy that, but they're really meant to be mixed. They're just made across the pond. Here you go. Something local. It's going to give you the same aroma and flavor profiles. It's the same price points, right? They're all around 30 bucks. And again, you're supporting local Canadian craft distilling with Whatstuck. And in my opinion, the balance, I think, is actually better with Whatstuck, right? With Whatstuck, I'm not getting that alcohol burn, that gas-like kind of gasoline taste that I often do with some of those other value-priced international brands. So there you have it. A new player on the Ontario and Canadian gin scene that for me proves that low price does not mean low quality. Now, on Friday, the 18th day of June, I will be live on Instagram at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll be making a cocktail with Whatstuck, as well as gin cocktails with the other gins that I taste this week. So mark your calendars and don't miss out. And please, continue to like and share my posts via social media. And don't forget to keep using the hashtag SipWithSomForAll. Sip with SOMM4ALL, right? I do need your help in spreading the good word on our Made in Canada gin and in supporting our local craft distillers up here in the Great White North. Together, using that hashtag SipWithSomForAll, you and I, we can help put some Canadian quality in the glasses of our fellow Canucks across the country. Really, life is just simply too short for folks to drink boring gin. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. Tomorrow, the 16th day of June, I will be back with another Canadian gin, so be sure not to miss out. And until then, be safe, everyone. Stay well. And cheers from Som for All.